I've been selling online for the last 10 years, and here are 10 things I wish someone would have told me before I started. That would have saved me a lot of trouble and heartache. The first problem is competition. You can pretty much buy everything online today, and what makes you stand out from the crowd? Are you trying to sell a new type of product, a new and improved version of a product, or just compete on price? You have to answer this question because that's the question customers will be asking themselves. Why should I buy from this guy? What makes this store special? And should I even trust him? Is it even a real store? You're going to have to hit on all these points to convince people to part with their money. The second problem is what makes you sure that your idea is any good? If it was such a good idea, someone would have done it before. Maybe they've already done it and failed, and you just don't know about it, and you'll inevitably follow in their footsteps. Imagine selling barefoot shoes 10 years ago, or introducing a new type of coffee. How would you even know that anyone cares about this sort of product? Or a new YouTube channel about e-commerce, who gives a fuck? Problem number 3 with e-commerce is it can get really complex really quickly and very overwhelming, especially at the beginning. You'll have to worry about search engine optimization, pay-per-click, fulfilled by Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google Ads, Facebook Ads, and there's plenty of agencies that will be able to help you with any of those, but the problem is they work on a job basis, not on a result basis. So the only thing that you will be certain of is that they will charge you a set amount of money, but nobody will ever promise any results, which makes it very risky. The fourth problem with e-commerce is actually customer acquisition. So as we know, Google and Meta are trillion-dollar companies now, but that's because they can charge merchants pretty much what they can get away with in terms of cost per click. So that doesn't leave a lot of margin for error. So if you're only playing around and experimenting with new products or product lines, you can pretty much say goodbye to this money until you get a hit, which can take quite some time. The fifth issue with e-commerce is stock management. So you have to ensure you have plenty of stock available on hand at all time to fulfill the orders, but not too much. So you don't want to tie up too much capital in stock just lying there on a shelf that no one's buying. It can potentially get really expensive. Issue number 6 is also related to stock levels. So imagine you're growing really quickly and all your goods are flying off the shelves and you can't fulfill any orders. When restocking again, you will pretty much have to give away all your profit back to the supplier to reinvest into the stock, so you have enough goods to put up on the shelves that can be sold again. If your lead time is really long, you can potentially end up working for free for quite a long time, or maybe even financing the company from your private funds. There are third-party companies, finance companies that can help you with that. But the interest they charge, again, makes pretty much all the profit disappear. So again, you end up working for free. The 7th problem with e-commerce is pretty much the same as with any other online business. So it's really easy to start, but once you start, you'll get no traffic and no sales. So the real work actually starts after you launch, to build awareness, go on social media, create content, start advertising, and maybe partnering with some other businesses to send customers your way. It depends on what type of product you're selling. If you're selling protein shakes, you can team up with the local gym, for example. Maybe they'll advertise you in some way. There are also existing affiliate partners websites, but I had really mixed luck with them. So basically what happens is they won't really advertise you as such, but when someone Googles for your store name and coupon code, they'll go to the coupon partner website and come back to you to finalize the purchase. So net, it can even work against you to be listed on some of those, because you would rather have the customer not find a coupon but go to your website and buy than waste a lot of time going on various websites online only so that they can give you a few pounds less for the order. And the 8th issue with e-commerce is it's just plain old normal standard business. So you'll have to abide by all the laws incorporate, pay VAT, income taxes, shipping, duties. You'll have to fulfill and tick all the boxes that apply to all the other businesses. And there's plenty of red tape, trust me. Especially, it depends on the niche you're in. But in health-related niches, it can get quite involved, especially with products like nose strips. That's actually a medical device, and the companies had to register it with MHRA or someone like that to get that medical device status. The ninth bad thing about e-commerce is fulfillment. So as obviously e-commerce involves moving large quantities of goods physically, so there's plenty of logistics involved. When you're starting out, you can do it from home, but again, it depends on what you're selling. We were selling oils to begin with. We had like 500 milliliter bottles that were quite heavy. So receiving a delivery of those into our house was quite challenging. We had a guy unload a Euro pallet, in front of our house, and we just had to get on with it and move it all indoors. That wasn't that great. So imagine if you're selling, I don't know, kettles or vacuum cleaners, you'll run out of space really, really quickly. And then you have to either rent proper professional premises or partner up with some third-party fulfillment center, which will again take a slice of your profit. So you have to do your own due diligence in terms of, does it actually make sense? But that's a tricky calculation, because when you always want to assume a rate of growth, but you don't know what that growth is going to be. So whenever you're signing up a lease for a premises, this will be for a period of time, and you have no guarantee of the turnover actually being there to support that. So it's a bit of a leap of faith that can potentially bankrupt your company. Whereas working with fulfillment centers, again, it just cuts into your profits. So they can charge between, I don't know, £1 to £3 per item. It depends on your average order value and the amount of items per order. So that can eat up quite a lot of your profit. The 10th issue is you thought you're starting your own business, you're your own boss, but nothing can be further from the truth. Instead of having one boss to answer to, now you have all these multinationals with their own rules and regulations. Selling on Amazon is one of the most difficult things I've ever done in terms of creating listings, managing them. They always find reasons to delist and block us. eBay is even worse. So there's quite a lot of pain to go through in that way. So unfortunately, you won't have one boss, you'll have many bosses. You'll have to deal with things like PCI compliance for your payment gateway. Even your payment gateway can kick you off if they deem you to be unsavory. We were selling hemp oil, which is just an oil from hemp. It's nothing to do with any drugs or anything. But a number of companies just turned us away. They didn't want our business. You have the keyword hemp on your website, so basically, off you go. Work with someone else. That's a bit of a problem. What else? In the food supplements niche, there's plenty of regulations to abide with. Like you can't say what the supplements are good for. There's a pre-existing list of health claims that you're allowed to use on the product pages. But if you veer outside of them, like, I don't know, maybe you want to do marketing or content marketing or write a blog about a certain supplement, then you really have to be careful that the trading standards won't fine you for going out of the box. Equally, some products are trademarked or patented by other companies that you might not necessarily be aware of. So you can get hit with letters, cease and desist type letters about copyright violations. So it's quite serious in terms of ticking all the compliance boxes. There's a lot of work there. And the final issue with trading online is you'll feel like the only gay in the village. There's no one to talk to, no one to ask about. no one will understand what you're going through, because everyone's used to being a customer, and the retailer is the big bad guy that takes your money or whatever, doesn't deliver. So you're actually now swapping roles, and you're becoming that big bad guy that has to deal with all sorts of perception issues of everyone around you. But if all that gets a bit too much, feel free to book a quick call with me. Maybe I can help you out in some way, shape or form. If after you've heard all of that you still want to go ahead and start your own e-commerce business, you have to watch out for who